Who is there?
Evil dwelling in the hearts of men, feeding on ignorance and fear like a seven-headed hydra.
I don't get it.
Dynaman, the Sentai from back in 1983, had a dub. And that dub actually aired on TV long before Power Rangers was even a thing. That's right, we're talking about the Dynaman dub. Let's go. Now, I've been aware of this dub for many years, but you know, I never actually cared to look for it. I knew of it, and I didn't like the sound of it. But once again, I've got a platform now, and I gotta do more than just review kid shows as a grown-ass man. So on my Twitch, I started a stream segment called Toku Rewind, where on Saturday nights, I pick a separate show from the past and play a few episodes just to see if they're worth talking about. Previously, I've done things such as Saban's Masked Rider, that one's being an editing nightmare, and the Kagaku reboot. It's good. Now, the thing about this particular dub is that it's a gag dub, and I knew it was a gag dub. Gag dubs in the US typically don't go over well. We had shows like Ultraman Tiga when I was a kid, and there was some card anime that I remember aired. Duel Masters? Something like that. And they just typically don't blow over well. So let's rewind the clock back to 1987, a year that predates even me being born. So I had no idea what to expect when these Dynaman dubs, dropped. Now, this was not done by Saban Entertainment, who, of course, adapted Zyuranger into being Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, even though at the time, Saban was looking into bringing other Sentai series over prior to actually having that success, such as Bioman and Jetman. This was instead done by a group of comedians and writers and produced for USA Network's Night Flight programming block as a superhero satire show. That is where Dynaman lasted for 7 episodes, I think. 6 are the only ones that can be found, but looking it up, apparently there's 7 episodes. Let me just preface by saying, this shit was hilarious.
Check this out.
I was expecting cringe, but got some hilarious dubbing and comedy bits that just left me rolling. Also, licensing music must have not been a thing in the 80s because this show has a 10 out of 10 soundtrack. It's mostly rock songs from the 80s, and I did not expect to see that coming. And it fits so well. Now, for obvious reasons, I can't play footage of said musical sections because the copyright strikes would nuke my channel to oblivion. But we get songs from artists such as Huey Lewis and the News with Heart of Rock and Roll and Hip to Be Square. We even get War. What is it good for? Yeah, that one. It's just overall a banger of a soundtrack. So obviously with this being a gag dub, characters' names and motives are just largely different. For example, Dr. Qtaro is now Dr. Ho, who has one-night stands and never shies away from being, well, a hoe.
Hey ho, so you thought you could get away, huh? That was no one-night stand. You said you loved me.
But lady, I can't understand you. I have a hearing impediment.
The effort in a lot of their naming is just completely made up on the spot. So, here's the cast of 5 good-looking Japanese friends from all walks of life.
Wushi, their leader, is Dyna Red. Juba, able to leap tall trees, is Dyna Black. Frankie, the human outboard motor, is Dyna Blue. Cowboy, the slow-thinking weapons expert, is Dyna Yellow. And
They really called this man Cowboy.
their main squeeze slow gin is Dyna Pink.
Actually, in general, they gave them all some fake accents that was just added for the hilarity of it all.
Oh, Juba? Oh, it's really good to see you.
Then it must be 2 o'clock.
Happy trails to you.
Juba, what are you doing here?
And then we get our villains of Bernie Tanaka, Mel Fujitsu, and Nigel. The plot points for these episodes are just all over the place, such as the villains trying to film a music video without getting a permit, trying to crash the Dynaman's parties.
They just wanted to tarnish your fine Japanese names and wreck the party. Party crashing is not new to the forces of evil. They crashed the first party even before the dawn of recorded time.
Before Madonna?
Oh yes, even before ZZ Top. Look, there is something I have never told you.
Your age?
No, it is the story of me as a younger man. As I grew, so did the reptile people. As their posture became straight, their hearts became crooked. Back then, I was a mere laboratory assistant in neither north.
The greatest, however, was episode 3, Day of the Dolphin.
But Mr. Flipper has changed. Tell him, Flippy.
Well, once I had a family, all I wanted to do was to do good and to help other sea creatures. Then the pigs drafted me and sent me to Nam. I was forced to blow up ships and kill.
Yeah, you see what comes of trying to be good.
Where Flipper, a dolphin, wants revenge on Dr. Wiggly, who does experiments on fish.
See that slinky one over there?
Oh, yes, she's beautiful.
Her name is Karen. Tonight we are going to perform an experiment upon her and cook her and eat her with butter.
What a scientist.
Frankie sinks down to the ocean and gets down bad.
So I'm dead and this is heaven. It's like being in the middle of a giant mood ring.
Dynahunk, is that a surfboard in your pocket or are you just glad to see me?
It's a woman with a tail.
For a mermaid after inhaling the smell of weed.
You're not dead. Does this smell like a place of death?
Chlorine. And reefer.
Tragic.
And Reaper.
This used to be a clean
You heard me. Next episode after that, Lizard of Oz features what clearly is a bat, but this one has some banger lines as well.
Wow, what a bitchin'
It's a
horse.
very big one. I really think it's a nice one.
You betcha, little orphan. And Dr. Ho put this whole bike together from old gum wrappers. He did it with just one finger. Just one.
Your wheels are real cherry.
They're just like Dinah Pink. Oh, you bet.
How would you know?
There are honestly so many one-liners in this dub that just had me dead on the ground.
Hip hip hooray! We are orphans.
How's your experiment going?
Oh, mighty fine. Shh, orphans.
Hi,
Howdy.
what are you working on now? We're trying to convert barking into human language. Oh boy, how's it going so far? Rough, but we hope he will open up more as he gets used to the equipment.
He sure is dull. Well, the last one just did lame Elvis impersonations.
I cannot not praise this dub at all because it, like I said, it caught me by surprise. And you know what? Surprisingly, these episodes weren't hard to find, and you can actually find these on archive.org. I'll share a link in the description below. Honestly, just wanted to make a quick vid on this series and thought, you should probably check them out. Some of the jokes might not land for some of you that are a bit younger, but this dub is very 80s, but was also made with an adult audience in mind. So keep that in mind. It's a parody that shouldn't be taken seriously because the show doesn't take itself seriously. However, I hope that you have as much fun watching these episodes as I did if you intend to check them out. With that said, that's it for me. I will catch you all on the next one. Bye. I wonder if anyone would be down to do a gag dub with me of Saban's Masked Rider.